busting is disgusting! Union busting is disgusting! Union busting is disgusting! Union busting is disgusting! Union busting is disgusting! The justice! Would rather pit one group of workers against another because they don't want the richest Minnesotans, the richest Americans, to pay their fair share of taxes. And here today, we've had a public worker, we've had a nurse, and now we've got a construction trade. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. I want to call on someone to speak to you today. You know, the reason that the rich get rich is because people get educated and they get trained. And the people who do that, who provide that education, are Minnesota's great teachers, aren't they?
I am a special educator, and we're going to give a little special education lesson to Governor Walker and to our state legislators right now. And then, by a show of hands, who here has had a teacher? Yeah, that's right, people. To the politicians in St. Paul, I would like to point out that the answer to my rhetorical question is everyone above the age of 4. Each day that you shuttle the message to the public that teachers and other public service employees are to blame for our economic crisis while glossing over the economic over. When you seem to remove collective bargaining from teachers, you also take away their professional voice and their ability to speak courageously. As one injustice.
I think Jimmy wants to do that, and I called up and talked to Connie today just to get a sense of how.
Teachers!
And I
this
said,
is a surprise question.
So I'm going to read you one more thing, and I'm going to introduce our next speaker. I'm going to read you a quote. I want you to hear it, and I'll tell you who it's from. It says, restoring the American dream requires more than restoring a sound, productive economy, vitally important as that is. It requires a return to spiritual and moral values, values so deeply held by those who came here to build a new life. We need to restore those values in our daily life, in our neighborhoods, and in our government's dealings with other nations of the world. These are the values inspiring those brave workers in Poland. The values that have inspired other dissidents under communist domination. They remind us that where free unions and collective bargaining are forbidden, freedom is lost. Do you know who said that? Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan. Right to have a voice, and we are not going to stand for that.
My name is Rebecca Rush. I have worked as a licensed practical nurse for over 10 years. I have worked in nursing homes. I've worked in hospitals on several different types of units. I've worked as in-home care. I work in one of the local clinics in family practice. Now I know why we have to have the right for collective bargaining and why we need to stand with our brothers and sisters in Wisconsin and Ohio and all these other states that are considering walking in Scott Walker's footsteps. We want the American dream. We want to earn an honest living, provide a decent life for our children. If our collective bargaining rights are stripped from public employees, where does it stop? The private sector is next. And you can't tell me that the private sector won't jump all over this.
As I said, my name's Tony Vizzoli. I'm 44 years old, and I've been a plumber in the United Association Local 15 here in Minneapolis for 9 years. Since July of 2009, I've worked for 2 months. Yet I don't have the money to take care of my house. Do you have any idea how humbling it is to be in the construction trades and not be able to afford materials to maintain my own house? There's their chance, their opportunity to share in the American dream. The American dream is not just built for the Koch brothers and the cheap labor conservatives, but for every American. We stand together with our sisters and brothers in Wisconsin.
We are a gentle, angry people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a justice-loving people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are an anti-nuclear people, and we are singing, singing for our lives.
What's your name?
Elliot Side.
And you're?
I'm the director of AFSCME, Council 5.
My name is Sandy Ahlstrom, and I'm an organizer for MoveOn.org, the Twin Cities Metro West Council. And this is our second rally, and we feel so strongly about the American dream. And I think witnessing not only what happened in Wisconsin, which was such a challenge for them, but to even look back at what happened in Egypt. And I think what we're trying to show our legislators, our leaders in the state and in Washington is we believe that American workers should have a right to collective bargaining, to a living wage, to be able to raise their families, to have a future, because that's how this country was built. I'm 70 years old. I've lived here in this country when we made things.
Bill, I'm Jennifer Munt. I'm Public Affairs Director for AFSCME.
What do you think about today?
I think it was powerful today. Governor Walker cannot legislate unions out of existence. He can't legislate the middle class out of existence. Whenever workers come together, unions exist. Wherever the middle class comes together, we outnumber the richest people, and we can turn this thing around.